topic, a black man's voice, and we're talking about how men need love. And I want you to give me your perception of what love could look like or feel like for a man.
Mm. I want to start off by saying this. First of all, as adults, which we all become, which we most of us are, it's our responsibility to grow. We're responsible for our own growth. There's a lot of things a lot of cultures and a lot of ideals and beliefs that we grew up around that won't serve us as the people that we're trying to become, the men and women that we're trying to become. Like we just gotta. That's the first thing I want to say before anybody takes sides about
Yeah.
opinions or perspective. It's our responsibility to grow and become who we're meant to be. So I want to say that my perception of love now is I truly understand more than ever how much love is an action more than
Mm.
just words. Feel me? Like that's the first thing. Like once you understand that love is an action and not just the way somebody make you feel or the words that come out
Ooh.
your mouth, man, I'm telling you that it opens your mind and your understanding of, how to love someone and how to receive love. It opens that up, you know. So my perception of love is just what does that person do to acknowledge you? You know what I mean? Because we all want to be acknowledged in different ways, and I think the conversation kind of is men need love too, but you can't talk about men needing love without talking about women. You feel me? So you know what I mean? Because like, be honest with you, like listen. My whole thing is, if you ask me what my resume say, listen, I'm a man that had to confront his boy. Like at some point, I had to confront that boy in me because that boy learned his perspectives about love is completely different from the man that I am now.
Talk about it.
You know what I mean? Like for instance, a lot of people don't realize that everybody love in different ways, but we come into a lot of situations wanting to be loved how our vision of love is, or like what our illustration of what love is. But when you dealing with somebody that come from a different love culture, and people don't like to talk about that, like the love culture. What was love in your home growing up? You know, how was love showed in your home growing up? You know, because me, like my mom and my daddy good now. Like it's all love, you know.
Okay.
But growing up, they weren't necessarily together. Like, you know what I'm saying? We were a family, but they weren't necessarily together. So I had to see him love my mom in a way that I didn't understand at the time, because
Yeah.
that was gonna do. My pops was gonna do what he was gonna do, and he
Yeah.
would have those conversations with me as a younger man, like, yo, this ain't got nothing to do with that over there. You know what I mean? Which meant like when you go back home, that ain't got nothing to do. So all I knew was that, my daddy, he made sure we taken care of. He look out for my mom whenever she needed, like, and he there. Like as far as I know, he there. So my
Yeah.
perception of love was just that. Like, am I not there when you need me?
Right.
Do I
Right.
not do what you need me to do? But
Period.
but that's not love. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? It's not love, but I perceive that as love. So for a lot of my life as a young man, I went about it that way. So I would do wrong. I would do what I would do, dealing with women. And then when the time comes, they question me. I said, well, do I not make you happy? am I not there for you when you need me? You feel
Right.
me? So I feel like I was doing everything right as a man to give love. But like I said, once you take that responsibility to acknowledge what was wrong and what was right from your past, your childhood,
Hey.
once you start developing, right, and actually start from the inside out, you realize, okay, I got to get rid of some of this stuff that I believe that, because it don't serve who I want to be moving forward. You know what I mean? And I'm
Hello.
a man. Like I want a family. I want a wife. I want somebody to love. I want
Hey.
somebody to love me. Like, and not saying that I'm there yet, because obviously, like, I'm still growing. I'm still growing, and I'm 29 years old, and I didn't start changing my perspective and digging into that boy or acknowledging that boy that was still within me until about 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
This is a hey, the turtle won the race. That's what I'm gonna tell you. that the rabbit gonna fool you. If you messing with somebody who act like they just figured it out real quick,
Exactly.
man, listen, and you ain't gonna win like that. You ain't gonna win with them because they gonna discover that they not who they thought they were. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, that's just that. I'm sorry, I don't know if I got off track or not, but when you say, my perception of love is just like, man, first acknowledge that everyone's perspective of love is different. You know what I mean? So that's why you got to get with someone that's willing to somewhat recreate with you, to put both of y'all ideals, principles, and morals, whatever it is that form your belief of what love is. You gotta come together with somebody else and form those mutual like connections that add up to y'all loving each other correctly, understanding love languages, understanding just who you are, what ticks you off, what doesn't tick you off, because it's an
Right.
action. So it's an action. Remember that. So a lot of times you gonna be in a place to do something completely opposite of what that person would perceive as love based off your emotions. You
Right.
might get mad at that person, and like what, I'm about to be petty, but that little bit of
Right.
pettiness can be like you think you're being petty in a little way, but that little way that you be petty can leave a dramatic effect on your partner. You know what I mean? That tells them in plain language, oh, they don't love me. They can't love me. Like, why would they do that if they love me? You know what I
So
mean?
what I'm like really quickly, I want to make mention of something that you started off with, and I want us all to make sure that we know the difference. There's something that I said in that little promotional video that I just posted.
Right.
Understanding the difference, because first of all, I feel like a lot of us don't know the difference between our feelings and our emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So, like you said earlier, love is an emotion that was manifested because of something, whereas your feeling is a reaction to.
Yes.
A lot of people like, I feel like they love me, or I feel upset, I feel blah 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 blah,
Right.
and then you have those that say, oh well, I love him.
Mm.
Well, love should be a product of what he's doing to quote unquote, or what she is doing for you to make you feel giddy inside.
Right.
It's like if I get butterflies when I see a person, that's
Yeah.
feeling.
Yeah.
Love me being tender and kind and being soft with a person,
Being vulnerable.
being vulnerable. And love has no condition. So that means I can still be angry and love a person. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because sometimes your emotions have like two primary feelings to them.
Yeah.
If that, so I could do something that I love because I'm still mad at this person. Like for instance, if my sister break down in her car and I just told her to go get her car fixed like 2 weeks ago and you still ride in it, yeah, I'm upset, but because I
Yeah.
love you, I'm gonna go and pick you up. You know,
Right.
so we have to understand the difference between feelings and emotions, because
Yeah.
sometimes men don't understand what that is and they don't know how to operate in that space. And then women don't understand what that is and how to operate. You know, a lot of times women work off of emotions where men work off of feelings. I
Yeah.
have to feel a girl. You know what I'm saying?
Saying
Like,
it. Hey, you saying it.
you know what I'm saying? I have to feel a girl.
Yeah.
Women sometimes overstimulate a space, and that's where the feelings that you had for a person are now hurt.
Yeah.
People, oh, my feelings are hurt. So the reason I came up with the topic of men need love, I threw out options to
Yeah.
Calvin. I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
what do you want to do? And
Yeah.
this is going to rope me into my next question. There's a reason you chose this topic other than the other two topics.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody may be like, what was the other two topics? So let me throw them out there, y'all.
Go
So
ahead. Go ahead.
something like men love, well, no, men are lusty before they love a person. And then I was gonna say women don't know how to differentiate, blah, blah, blah. There's a reason you picked men need love over those topics.
Mm-hmm.
And this is me wanting to know why. So what made you pick men need love? Is this something that's super valuable to you?
Yes, it is. Because listen, I truly believe that a man is as powerful as the woman that's behind him. Like I believe that. Other people might believe they can go out through life and be as great as they want to be, and that may be true for them. But I believe that you need that partner. You need that
Right.
woman in your life because I believe that these days a lot of women they want to find a man. Like, just think of a man as like a plant. They want a man that's already sprouting. He's already
Hmm.
growing. They just wait for him to bloom. But in reality, a lot of men, like I said, because the way that they were raised or the way that they were brought up, or the way, the reason, the cultures, the way they were conditioned to think, or even to
Right.
perceive love, to think of women, to even be vulnerable with themselves, they didn't grow up in an environment that fed into that. You know what I mean?
Mm,
So a lot. My point is, a lot of women want that man that's already developed, that's already grown, but they don't understand. I understand that, because if you're a woman and you done dealt with men, you done been hurt, you done gave chances, you done fed them, you done took care of them, you did everything you could for that man,
right.
and it same result. He betrayed you, he hurt you, whatever. But I'm trying to tell you, when you find a good man and a man that's meant for you, because first of all, not every man is entering your life to love you. I want to make that clear. Every man is not coming into your life to love you.
Right.
Men are very right now. They're very visual. They're very like whatever entices me at the moment. So you
Uh-huh.
got to understand love can be a part of your situation, but most likely a lot of times he gonna love what you do for him, how he benefits you,
Mm-hmm.
because he's a man. Like, he's a man.
Yep.
Like just being honest. That's the thing about me. Like, I'm willing to speak up. A lot of men don't know how to, like, they haven't broken that communication barrier within themselves.
That's
You
the
know what I
word.
mean? I'm telling
That's the
telling
word.
you, like, but with me, I'm able to be transparent. I'm able to be honest up front, and I tell you, like, men need to be watered. Men need to be watered. Like I said, think about them being that plant. Like, a lot of women want them to be grown, full stocks already. But I'm telling
Right.
you, if you just take a chance, I know you've been hurt, I know that you've been betrayed, but if you keep that faith that you deserve a good man and a good man is going to find you, I am telling you, it's good men out there, but they need to be watered. You know
Mm,
what I mean? They're seeds, and it's soil that needs to be watered for them to grow. And I'm trying to tell you, a lot of women, they don't want to be nobody mama. I get that. They don't want to raise no man. I get that. But I mean, what's good in life that doesn't take work? And
right.
and I'll mention again, I said before we started, it's upon every adult, man or woman, to become what they want to become,
Right.
regardless of what they were taught, what was instilled into them. At some point, you have your own mind, and it's up to you to reevaluate what matters to you and what's of value to you, what your principles, what your morals are, what you're gonna stand on. And
Right.
a lot of men, they haven't approached that little boy in them. That little boy he's still running wild in them, and they haven't took the time to break themselves down to
Right.
counter that little boy and tell him, look, man, we gonna do this though. You know what I mean? I know we were taught this. I know this is what we believe. I know this is what we saw. But
Right.
listen, we gonna live like this. We gonna treat this woman like this. We gonna treat ourselves like this. Because I'm telling you, a lot of men they can't